If you're over 50 and you've been watching the number on the scale creep up, even though you feel like you're doing everything right, I want you to know something. It might not be what you're eating for dinner. It might be what you're doing or not doing in those quiet evening hours before bed and while you sleep. Today, I'm going to share 14 common nighttime habits that could be working against your body and making it easier to gain weight, especially as we get older. We'll go through each one step by step, and I'll give you simple, practical swaps that you can start using tonight. No extreme diets, no impossible exercise routines, just gentle changes that may help your body work with you instead of against you. Hello, my friend, and welcome back. I'm Dr. Sarah Truman. Before we dive in, I want to be very clear about something important. I'm a health coach and wellness educator. I am not a medical doctor, and this video is not medical advice. Everything I share today is for general educational purposes only. Please talk to your own doctor or healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, exercise routine, or lifestyle, especially if you have any health conditions or take medications. Your doctor knows your personal situation best, and nothing I say here replaces their guidance. Everyone's body is different, and what helps one person might not work the same way for another. My goal today is simply to share some information that you can discuss with your healthcare team and decide what might be worth trying in your own life. Now let's talk about what we're covering today. I'm going to walk you through 14 nighttime habits that are surprisingly common among people over 50, and that research suggests may contribute to weight gain. Some of these might surprise you, others you might recognize right away. Here's what we'll explore. First, we'll look at why nighttime habits matter so much for our metabolism as we age. Then we'll go through the first group of habits related to eating and drinking patterns in the evening. After that, we'll discuss habits connected to sleep quality and bedroom environment. We'll also cover some sneaky habits related to screens and mental stress. Finally, we'll talk about some common myths and when you should definitely talk to your doctor. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of small adjustments that could make a meaningful difference over time. Let me explain why these nighttime hours matter so much, especially after 50. You see, our bodies don't work the same way they did when we were 30. That's not a bad thing, it's just reality. As we age, our metabolism naturally slows down a bit. We tend to lose some muscle mass, which means we burn fewer calories even at rest. Our hormones shift too, and these changes can affect how our bodies process food, store fat, and regulate hunger. Now here's where nighttime comes in. Our bodies operate on something called a circadian rhythm. Think of it like an internal clock that tells your body when to be alert, when to digest food efficiently, and when to rest and repair. When we work against this natural rhythm, especially in the evening hours, our bodies can get confused. Research suggests that eating, drinking, or exposing ourselves to certain stimuli late at night may interfere with how our bodies process calories and store energy. During sleep, your body is supposed to be focused on repair and recovery. Your cells regenerate. Your brain processes the day's information. Your hormones rebalance. But if you've eaten a heavy meal right before bed, or if you're not sleeping well, your body has to multitask. Instead of focusing on restoration, it's dealing with digestion or stress hormones. Over time, these nightly disruptions may add up and contribute to gradual weight gain. The good news is that many of these habits are things you have control over. Small changes to your evening routine could support your body's natural processes and may help you maintain a healthier weight more easily. You're not powerless here. Far from it. Let's start with the first habit that might be working against you. Eating dinner too late in the evening. This is one of the most common patterns I see, and I understand why it happens. Life gets busy. Maybe you had appointments during the day, or you were helping with grandchildren, or you simply weren't hungry earlier. But eating your main meal close to bedtime may put your body in a difficult position. When you eat, your body needs time and energy to digest that food. Your digestive system has to break everything down, absorb nutrients, and process what you've taken in. Research suggests that our bodies may not handle this process as efficiently late at night compared to earlier in the day. Some studies indicate that late-night eating could be associated with increased fat storage and metabolic disruption. Here's what you might try instead. Aim to finish your last substantial meal at least 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. If you typically go to bed at 10 p.m., try to have dinner wrapped up by 7 p.m. I know this isn't always possible, and that's okay. Do your best. If you do end up eating later, try to keep that meal lighter and easier to digest. And please don't stress if you can't do this perfectly every night. We're looking for general patterns, not perfection. The second habit is closely related, and that's snacking throughout the evening. You finish dinner, you're settling in to watch your favorite show, and before you know it, you're reaching for crackers, cookies, or chips. This kind of grazing can add hundreds of extra calories that your body simply doesn't need at that hour. Evening snacking often happens not because we're truly hungry, but because we're bored, tired, or it's just become a habit. The challenge is that these extra calories consumed late at night don't get burned off through activity. You're winding down, not gearing up. Your body is preparing for sleep, not for a workout. If you find yourself reaching for snacks after dinner, try this. First, pause and ask yourself if you're actually hungry or if something else is going on. Sometimes a cup of herbal tea or a glass of water is all you really need. If you do feel genuinely hungry, try reaching for something light and protein-rich, like a small handful of nuts or a few slices of turkey. These won't spike your blood sugar the way sugary or starchy snacks might. And try to set a gentle boundary for yourself, something like finishing all eating by 8 p.m. It doesn't have to be rigid, just a guideline. The third habit that might surprise you is drinking alcohol in the evening. I know a glass of wine with dinner or a nightcap before bed can feel relaxing, and I'm not here to tell you that you can never enjoy a drink, but I do want you to understand how alcohol might affect your weight, especially when consumed at night. Alcohol contains calories, about 7 per gram, which is almost as much as fat. A single glass of wine can have 120 to 150 calories. Those add up. But beyond the calories themselves, alcohol may affect how your body processes other foods. Some research suggests that when alcohol is present in your system, your body prioritizes metabolizing the alcohol first, which could mean other calories are more likely to be stored as fat. Alcohol also disrupts sleep quality. You might fall asleep faster after a drink, but the quality of that sleep is often poorer. You may wake up more during the night, and you're less likely to get the deep, restorative sleep your body needs. Poor sleep is itself connected to weight gain, which we'll discuss more in a moment. If you enjoy an occasional drink, consider having it earlier in the evening rather than right before bed, and try to limit it to one standard serving. Some people find that switching to sparkling water with lemon or herbal tea in the evening gives them that ritual of having something to sip without the downsides. See what works for you. The fourth habit is eating foods high in sugar or refined carbohydrates in the evening. This includes things like ice cream, cookies, white bread, pasta, and sweetened cereals. These foods cause your blood sugar to spike, and when that happens late at night, your body may respond by storing more of that energy as fat. Here's why this matters more as we age. Our bodies often become less efficient at managing blood sugar over time. You might have heard your doctor mention things like insulin resistance or prediabetes. When we eat sugary foods late at night, we're asking our bodies to handle a big influx of glucose at exactly the time when our systems are winding down. It's like asking someone to do their hardest work right when they're about to go to sleep. Instead of reaching for sweets in the evening, try satisfying any cravings with foods that are gentler on your blood sugar. A small piece of cheese, some berries with a dollop of plain yogurt, a few squares of dark chocolate if you need something sweet. These options can feel like a treat without sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster. Now, let's talk about the fifth habit, which shifts us into the territory of sleep itself. Not getting enough sleep is one of the most underrated factors in weight management. If you're regularly getting less than 7 hours of sleep, your body may be working against you in ways you don't even realize. When we don't sleep enough, our hormones get thrown off. Specifically, levels of a hormone called ghrelin tend to go up. Ghrelin signals hunger. At the same time, levels of leptin, which signals fullness, tend to go down, so you end up feeling hungrier and less satisfied by what you eat. It's a frustrating combination. Lack of sleep also affects your energy and willpower the next day. You're more likely to reach for quick, high-calorie foods when you're tired. you're less likely to feel motivated to move your body, and the cycle continues night after night. If you struggle with sleep, please know you're not alone. Many people over 50 find their sleep patterns changing, but there are things you can try. Going to bed and waking up at consistent times, even on weekends, can help regulate your body's clock. Making your bedroom cooler, darker, and quieter can improve sleep quality. Limiting caffeine after noon and reducing screen time before bed can also help. If sleep problems persist, please talk to your doctor. There may be underlying issues that need to be addressed. The sixth habit is going to bed at inconsistent times. Your body thrives on routine. When you go to sleep at 9 p.m. one night and midnight the next, your internal clock gets confused. This inconsistency may affect not only sleep quality, but also your metabolism and hormone regulation. Try to establish a regular bedtime that allows you to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know life doesn't always cooperate, but consistency most of the time can make a real difference. Your body learns when to expect sleep and starts preparing for it, releasing the right hormones at the right times. This supports everything from your energy levels to how your body processes food. The seventh habit is keeping your bedroom too warm. This might seem like a small thing, but research suggests that sleeping in a cooler environment may support metabolic health. When your body is slightly cool during sleep, it may burn a few more calories to maintain your core temperature. Some studies have even found connections between cooler sleep environments and the activity of something called brown fat, which is a type of fat that actually burns calories. Beyond any potential metabolic benefits, most people simply sleep better in a cooler room. The ideal temperature for sleep is often cited as somewhere between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, though everyone is different. If you've been keeping your bedroom toasty warm, try turning down the thermostat a bit and adding an extra blanket that you can push off if you get too warm. See if you notice any improvement in your sleep quality. The eighth habit is spending too much time on screens before bed. I'm talking about phones, tablets, computers, and televisions. The light emitted by these devices, particularly the blue light, can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that helps you feel sleepy. When melatonin is suppressed, you may have trouble falling asleep, and the sleep you do get may be less restorative. But there's another reason screens can be problematic at night. What we watch and read often keeps our minds active and stimulated when they should be winding down. Scrolling through social media or watching intense news coverage can increase stress hormones, which we'll talk about more in a moment. Try to create a buffer zone of at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed where you're not looking at screens. I know this can be challenging. Instead, you might read a physical book, do some gentle stretching, listen to calming music, or have a quiet conversation with someone you love. These activities help signal to your body that it's time to transition into rest. The ninth habit is letting stress follow you to bed. This is a big one. When we go to sleep feeling stressed, worried, or mentally wound up, our bodies produce more cortisol. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, and while it serves important functions, having elevated cortisol levels at night can interfere with sleep and may promote fat storage, particularly around the midsection. Many people over 50 have plenty to think about at night. Health concerns, family worries, financial pressures, grief, these are real and valid, but carrying them into sleep, replaying them over and over, can create a cycle where stress disrupts sleep, poor sleep increases stress, and the whole pattern feeds on itself. Consider creating a simple wind-down ritual that helps you release some of that mental tension before bed. This might include writing down your worries in a journal with the intention of setting them aside until tomorrow. It might include a few minutes of slow, deep breathing. Some people find that gentle, guided relaxation recordings help them let go of the day's concerns. Find what works for you. The goal isn't to make your problems disappear, but to give your mind permission to rest. The 10th habit is not moving your body enough during the day, which then affects your sleep at night. This might seem like more of a daytime issue, but it directly impacts what happens after dark. Regular physical activity, especially earlier in the day, is associated with better sleep quality. When you move your body, you use energy, you release tension, and you help regulate your circadian rhythm. Many people over 50 are less active than they used to be, and that's understandable. Bodies change, joints might ache, energy might feel limited, but even gentle movement, like a daily walk, some light stretching, or a seated exercise routine, can make a difference. You don't need to run marathons, you just need to move in ways that feel good and are appropriate for your abilities. If you have mobility challenges or health conditions that limit your activity, please talk to your doctor or a physical therapist about what movement might be safe and beneficial for you. There are almost always options, even if they look different from what you did when you were younger. The 11th habit is using food for emotional comfort at night. After a long day, it's natural to want comfort, and food can provide that in the moment. But when we regularly turn to eating as a way to soothe difficult emotions, especially in the evening, it can contribute to taking in more calories than our bodies need. Emotional eating isn't something to be ashamed of. Almost everyone does it sometimes. But if you notice a pattern where stress, loneliness, boredom, or sadness leads you to the kitchen night after night, it might be worth exploring other ways to meet those emotional needs. What else brings you comfort? Maybe it's calling a friend. Maybe it's doing a crossword puzzle. Maybe it's listening to music that you love or working on a hobby. Maybe it's just sitting quietly with a cup of tea and giving yourself permission to feel whatever you're feeling without trying to fix it. These alternatives won't feel as immediately satisfying as food at first, but over time they can become genuinely comforting in their own right. The 12th habit is drinking too many liquids right before bed. Now, staying hydrated is important, and I'm not suggesting you should limit your overall fluid intake, but drinking large amounts of water or other beverages right before bed often means waking up multiple times during the night to use the bathroom. As we discussed earlier, sleep quality matters for weight management. Every time you wake up, you interrupt your sleep cycles. These interruptions add up and can leave you feeling less rested even if you spent enough hours in bed. Over time, fragmented sleep is associated with the same metabolic challenges as not getting enough sleep overall. Try to do most of your hydrating during the day and early evening. Then taper off as bedtime approaches. A small sip of water if you need it is fine, but you don't need to drink a full glass right before lying down. And if you find yourself extremely thirsty at night, that might be worth mentioning to your doctor, as it can sometimes indicate other health issues. The 13th habit is sleeping in positions that affect your breathing. This one is a bit different, but it's important. Many people over 50 have some degree of snoring or sleep-disordered breathing. In more significant cases, this can be a condition called sleep apnea, where breathing actually stops briefly and repeatedly throughout the night. Poor breathing during sleep affects oxygen levels and disrupts sleep quality even if you don't fully wake up. This can contribute to daytime fatigue, increased appetite, and metabolic changes that make weight management harder. If you snore heavily, if you've been told you stop breathing during sleep, or if you wake up feeling exhausted despite spending enough time in bed, please talk to your doctor. Sleep apnea is very treatable, and addressing it can make a significant difference in many areas of health. Even without sleep apnea, sleeping position can affect breathing. Sleeping on your back may cause the tongue and soft tissues to fall back and partially block the airway. Many people breathe better sleeping on their side. If you find this difficult, there are body pillows and positioning aids that can help you stay in a side sleeping position. It might take some adjustment, but it could improve your sleep quality. The 14th and final habit is neglecting your bedroom environment. Where you sleep matters. A bedroom that's cluttered, noisy, or filled with distractions can interfere with your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. And as we've discussed throughout this video, sleep quality is intimately connected to weight management. Take a look at your bedroom. Is it a restful space? Is it primarily used for sleep, or has it become an office, a TV room, and a storage space all rolled into one? When your brain associates your bedroom with activities and stress, it's harder to shift into sleep mode when you lie down. Try to make your bedroom as calm and sleep-friendly as possible. Keep it dark with curtains or blinds that block outside light. Keep it quiet or use a white noise machine if outside sounds are disruptive. Remove the TV if you can, or at least commit to turning it off well before sleep. Clear away clutter that makes the space feel chaotic. Think of your bedroom as a sanctuary for rest. Your body will start to respond to those cues. Now let's clear up a few myths that I often hear. One common belief is that eating anything after 6 p.m. automatically causes weight gain. This isn't quite accurate. It's not that your body suddenly changes the rules at a certain hour. What matters more is what you're eating, how much, and how it fits into your overall daily intake. That said, eating lighter in the evening and giving your body time to digest before sleep is generally supportive of good metabolic health. It's about the pattern, not a magic number on the clock. Another myth is that you need to completely eliminate all carbohydrates to manage weight. This isn't true either. Your body needs carbohydrates for energy. The key is choosing complex carbohydrates like vegetables, whole grains, and legumes over refined ones like white bread and sugary treats. And again, timing and portion size matter, but you don't need to fear all carbs. Some people believe that if they exercise vigorously, they can eat whatever they want. Unfortunately, as we age, this becomes less and less true. Our metabolisms simply don't burn calories the way they used to, and it's very easy to eat more calories than any exercise session can offset. Movement is wonderful and important for many reasons, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about when you should definitely see your doctor. While the habits we've discussed are general lifestyle factors, unexplained weight gain can sometimes indicate an underlying medical issue that needs attention. Please see your doctor if you notice sudden or significant weight gain that you can't explain through changes in your eating or activity. Please see your doctor if you're experiencing other symptoms alongside weight changes, such as extreme fatigue, hair loss, feeling cold all the time, or changes in your mood. These could suggest thyroid issues or other conditions. Please see your doctor if you have swelling in your legs, ankles, or abdomen, as this could indicate fluid retention related to heart, kidney, or liver issues rather than fat gain. If you're snoring heavily, waking up gasping, or feeling exhausted despite adequate time in bed, please get evaluated for sleep apnea. If you're struggling with persistent sadness, loss of motivation, or changes in appetite related to your emotional state, please reach out for support. Depression and anxiety are common and treatable, and they can affect both weight and sleep. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it's always better to get it checked out. Let me quickly recap what we covered today. First, we talked about eating dinner too late and how giving your body time to digest before sleep may support metabolism. Second, we discussed evening snacking and how those extra calories add up when your body is winding down. Third, we explored how alcohol affects both calorie intake and sleep quality. Fourth, we looked at sugar and refined carbs and their impact on blood sugar at night. Fifth, we covered the importance of getting enough sleep for hormone regulation and appetite control. Sixth, we discussed keeping a consistent bedtime. Seventh, we talked about keeping your bedroom cool. Eighth, we explored reducing screen time before bed. Ninth, we addressed managing stress so it doesn't follow you into sleep. 10th, we discussed how daytime movement affects nighttime sleep quality. 11th, we looked at emotional eating and finding alternative sources of comfort. 12th, we talked about tapering fluids before bed to prevent sleep disruption. 13th, we discussed breathing during sleep and when to seek help for sleep apnea. And 14th, we covered creating a restful bedroom environment. You don't have to tackle all of these at once. That would be overwhelming. Instead, maybe pick one or two that resonate with you, that feel achievable, and start there. Small steps add up over time. Be patient and kind with yourself. This isn't about perfection. It's about gradually building habits that support your body's natural rhythms. If you found this helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up. It helps other seniors find this information too. And if you're not subscribed yet, consider joining our community. I share new videos every week to help you stay strong, healthy, and independent as you age. If you'd like to keep going, I recommend watching my video about gentle morning routines that may support metabolism throughout the day. It pairs nicely with what we covered today. I'll put the link on screen and in the description. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, every night is a fresh opportunity to support your body with good habits. You have more influence over your health than you might think. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.